All right, welcome to the Big Ree and Ace Pick 6 College Football Bowl Edition for you boys. As you guys heard in the NFL one, Big Ree took a hiatus. The guy bought a one-way ticket out of state, and so he's not here to join me. So he was a little bit upset, as I said, because I spent 2 weeks in the Caribbean. So it is what it is. I do have his picks here, boys, so don't worry. This is going to be a juicy weekend, boys. A great start to the new year. Feel extremely confident about these games, guys. This is going to be an easy one. Easy slate of games. If you guys have been following all the bowl games this season, it's been pretty easy. This is going to be a good way to start the new year. Pay close attention, boys. This is an easy one. Do not get fooled, guys. Easy slate of games. All right, here we go, boys. Start you guys off. We got Notre Dame versus Clemson, played in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Clemson is a 12.5-point favorite here. Notre Dame 12-0, but only impressive win all season came in week 1 versus Michigan. Other than that, they got some decent victories against Stanford, Syracuse, but other than that, not impressed with their schedule. They even struggled in their last game versus USC, and we all know how bad the Trojans were this year. They squeaked that out by a touchdown. But I'll give them this. They do have a solid defense. They've not given up more than 27 points all season. And then we got quarterback Book. He has not thrown more than 2 TDs only once all season, guys. Only once. And he has an interception in 5 of his last 6 games. Then we got Clemson, 13-0, boys, coming off a 42-10 win versus Pittsburgh in the championship game. Every game they've won by at least 20 points except 2 all season. And, they had wins versus Texas A&M and Syracuse, but other than that, I'm not too impressed with Clemson either. Let's be honest. But I think the difference here is going to be running back Travis Etienne. He's going to play good. He's been playing well all season. And I think Notre Dame will keep it interesting for a little bit, and then Clemson will, open it up in the second half. An easy one. Clemson wins by 18-20. Easy here. Take Clemson minus 12.5. Game 2. We got Oklahoma versus Alabama, played in the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida. Alabama is a 14-point favorite here, boys. The Oklahoma 12-1 with an impressive 39-27 win in the conference championship game versus Texas. They have a high-powered offense. They've scored at least 45 points in 10 of their 13 games. And their only loss was to Texas, but they made up for that in the championship game and won. So, they're a legit team. Then they got Heisman winner Kyle Murray, who's the real deal. He's got the it factor. Super confident with him. 70% completion rate, over 50 TDs in the air and on the ground combined. So he's the real deal. Then let's go to Alabama, 13-0, coming off a tough win versus Georgia, 35-28 in the SEC championship game. They're a complete team, offense, defense. They got obviously so much talent on that roster, but their defenses can be a little bit shaky. They've given up over 20 points 5 times this season. So everyone talks about that hype, that defense is unstoppable, but they can be shaky at times. Oklahoma is going to put up points here, boys. Look, Oklahoma's putting up points. I'm not sold on Alabama. They should win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma gets the upset here. But they're definitely covering that 14 all day, boys. Take Oklahoma plus 14. Game 3, we got Cincinnati versus Virginia Tech. Cincinnati is a 5.5-point favorite here. Cincinnati 10-2, coming off a 56-6 win versus East Carolina in their last game. Only 2 losses were in overtime to Temple and at UCF, who's undefeated. So they're an impressive team this season. Quarterback Desmond Ridder has not thrown an interception in his last 4 games. The freshman is looking good. And this is a really young Cincinnati team that wants this win badly. This is their championship game. They're going to come out. This is probably going to be a blowout if you ask me, but they're easily covering this 5.5 points. But let's get into Virginia Tech, 6-6. 2-4 in their last 6 games, boys. Most impressive win was against Virginia in overtime by 3, guys. And Virginia Tech has got into this game by their name in the program, but they've not been impressive this season, so they shouldn't be here. Their quarterback Willis is decent, but Cincinnati is going to get this win easy here, boys. Do not get fooled. Take Cincinnati minus 5.5. Game 4, we got LSU versus UCF in the Fiesta Bowl. This is played in Glendale, Arizona. LSU is a 7-point favorite here. LSU 9-3, boys, coming off a 74-72 loss to Texas A&M. Yes, they gave up 74 points. Everybody's talking about the strong defense of LSU. Gave up 74 points, boys. Only impressive win all season was against Georgia. I'll give them that. They had an impressive win. Other than that, they overachieved this year. They don't have an impressive QB. They don't have an impressive defense. They don't have an impressive run game. They've overachieved, guys. And they don't have a high-power offense, so they're not going to expose that weak defense of UCF, guys. They don't have that kind of offense here. And then let's get into UCF. 12-0, undefeated, coming off an impressive comeback win versus Memphis in the conference championship game, 56-41. They actually were down 24-7 at the end of the first quarter, and they came back and won. Everybody talks about the horrible defense. UCF defense is so bad, But in 8 out of their 12 games, they've not given out more than 24 points. So think about that. In 8 of their 12 games, they've not given up more than 24. But everyone talks about they're such a horrible, defense. And then let's talk about freshman quarterback Darrell Mack Jr. He looked really good in that conference championship game in absence of Milton. He had 6 TDs total. He looked good, and I'm impressed with him. I like UCF here. They beat Auburn last year in the bowl game, and everyone's like, oh, they shouldn't be here. They should be here. They deserve it. I wouldn't be surprised if they win again, but they're definitely going to stay in that +7, guys. Don't get fooled, guys. UCF's a good team, and I think Mac is better than Milton. Take UCF +7. Game 5, we got Washington Huskies versus Ohio State in the Rose Bowl, played in Pasadena, California. Ohio State is a 6.5-point favorite. Washington 10-3. Coming off an unimpressive 10-3 win in the Pac-12 championship game. They got that really lucky interception. That was the only touchdown of the game. So I was not impressed. No impressive wins for Washington other than against Washington State. And if you watch that game was played in the snow. Washington State wasn't able to really play their game. So I'm not impressed. And quarterback Browning. Hey, not impressed with him either, guys. Not impressed at all. And, he's regressed. He's only thrown more than 2 TDs 3 times all season, and that's versus North Dakota State. North Dakota, Oregon State, Arizona State. Not impressed, guys. Not impressed with Washington or their QB. Then we got Ohio State, 12-1. Only loss all season was a 49-20 loss to Purdue. They've had 2 very impressive wins to end the season. 45-24 win versus Northwestern in the championship game. Then they blew out Michigan 62-39. That was very impressive. They got a high-powered offense led by Heisman candidate quarterback Dwayne Haskins. That guy's the real deal. And Washington's offense is not going to be able to keep up here, guys. Another easy one. A very easy one, boys. Take Ohio State minus 6.5. Game 6, we got Texas at Georgia. This is played at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and this is going to be the Sugar Bowl. And Georgia is a 13-point favorite here, boys. 13 points. We got Texas 9-4, lost 39-27 to Oklahoma in the conference championship game. They have 4 losses, all by single digits, guys. 5 to Maryland in week 1, 3 to Oklahoma State, 1 to West Virginia, and then 8 to Oklahoma, guys. But in 3 out of those 4 losses, they were leading or tied going into the 4th quarter. And then quarterback Sam Ehlinger has looked impressive, guys. I got to give it him. He's looked impressive this year. 25 TDs in the air, 13 touchdowns on the ground, only 5 interceptions. So he's looked pretty good. Then we got Georgia, who's 11-2, coming off a 35-28 loss to Alabama in the SEC championship game. They were leading and they blew that game. Their only impressive wins, though, all season, Auburn and Kentucky, guys. You know, so they have a lot of talent on that roster. A lot of talent. That's how they're winning games, with that talent alone. You know, quarterback Jake Fromm is looking pretty good. He's decent, but there's not enough offense and there's not enough run game here to really blow out teams and put up a lot of points. The loss of Sony Michel and Nick Chubb from last year is a big loss to those guys. They haven't been able to make up for that. And, you know, look, Georgia's a good team, so is Texas. Texas is a good team. I think Texas is going to win this game, to be honest. I think Texas wins this game, but if not, they're definitely covering that 13. Take Texas plus 13. All right, boys, now I'm going to give you guys Big Ree. Big Ree has 3 picks. We got the first game is Florida Gators versus Michigan Wolverines in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, played in Atlanta, Georgia. Michigan is a 6-point favorite. Big Ree is taking Michigan -6. Game 2, we got the Stanford Cardinals versus Pittsburgh in the Hyundai Sun Bowl. This is played in El Paso, Texas, boys. Stanford is a 5.5-point favorite. Big Ree is taking Stanford -5.5. Game 3, we got Missouri versus Oklahoma State in the Liberty Bowl. Big Ree is taking the over here. Take the over 74.5. All right, boys, want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, and a Happy New Year. Enjoy those games. Enjoy some hot cocoa for me, boys. And we'll see you guys next year.